DASPA CEO hails OECS Port Managers Training successful. The Ministry of Health and the Nursing Association celebrate Nurses Week 2016, and a Hunters Workshop promotes wildlife conservation. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Lourianne Graham Carter. Stay with us for details of the headline stories after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
Thanks for staying with us. A first-of-its-kind regional workshop for OECS Port Managers has been described as highly successful by Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, Benoit Badwell. Badwell accompanied the Seaport Operations Manager, Miss Lynn Valerie, to St. Lucia on a 4-day training from April 26 to 29. This was facilitated by the Singaporean consultancy firm ST Education and Training, which are global leaders in maritime education and training services. Training was provided in the areas of port management, port planning, port safety and efficiency, emergency preparedness, and best practices of the Singapore port and terminal management.
It wasn't only just to deal with the issue of cargo or passengers. It had to deal with a number of issues in terms of how do ports do their forecasting, the planning that goes into it, how do we better look at the laws in terms of governance for the issues as it relates to ensuring that we can deliver to the various publics. So these are some of the things that we have to look at from the very imprint that we're not only just dealing with passengers and cargo, we're dealing with much more than that, because anything we take, any decisions taken at management level can impact on the persons utilizing those various facilities.
The training was sponsored by the Government of Singapore through an OECS Singapore Joint Cooperation Program.
In the past, persons had to go to Singapore. We had several persons who went to Singapore to do the training, but this time it was geared to ensure that as the OECS moves towards the economic union, that they could strengthen the management side of the ports to ensure that there is commonality in terms of the way we begin to address a number of matters.
Badwell explained that the training enabled them to look at best-case scenarios for the future. They also got the opportunity to share experiences with local and regional representatives.
There were quite a few things that was presented at the training which assisted the managers to be able to be better focused in terms of the competitive environment, in terms of the responsibilities of managers, to ensure that the various ports can begin to do better planning, because planning, forecasting, all of these things are necessary, and the role that the port plays in the economic chain. As you know, we have a logistical transport chain, and the port plays a very important role in that. And it can impact negatively or positively on the economy, on the local economy of the country. And what we are seeking to do is to make the ports more cost competitive in terms of reducing costs wherever possible, and to create better efficiency so we can better serve the interests of the various stakeholders utilizing the port.
Asked about his evaluation of the training, his response was that it was more informative than other experiences.
I would rate the training very highly because the persons from Singapore really brought to us their success story in terms of what they've done in Singapore, given that Singapore is slightly smaller than Dominica for that matter, and what they have been able to do to transform the economy. And so being small is not something that we should look at, that we can't be able to take on some of the bigger challenges. It is how we position ourselves, how competitive we are in terms of pricing, in terms of our efficiency levels. For example, our turnaround time on ships. How do we utilize statistics to enable us to make better decisions?
Chairman of the recently formed OECS Port Management Committee, Darwin Telemack, lauded the workshop's huge success and explained that he was quite impressed with the instructors, the training material, and the high-level discussions among his fellow port managers in the region.
The Ministry of Health and the Dominica Nurses Association has joined the rest of the world to celebrate Nurses Week 2016 under the theme of Force for Change, Improving Health Systems Resilience. International Nurses Day celebrated around the world every May 12th, the anniversary of Florence Nightingale's birthday. Florence Nightingale was born in Florence, Italy on May 12, 1820. During the Crimean War, Florence and a team of nurses improved the unsanitary conditions at a British-based hospital, reducing the death count by 2/3, and her writings sparked worldwide healthcare reform. At an educational symposium on Wednesday, GIS News spoke with President of the Nurses Association, Deborah Roach-Phillip, who gave an overview of the activities.
Today, which is Wednesday, we are now having an educational symposium, and this symposium is sponsored by the Dominican Nurses Association. And we are having this in order to help improve the negative image of nurses out there in the island of Dominica. As a result, the Dominican Nurses Association has invited 3 individuals who we are privileged to have with us to present on the various topics. And presently we have with us Mrs. Bertilia Mackenzie, the General Manager of the Dominica Electricity Services, and she's going to speak on professional conduct. We are aware that our nurses, some of them are experiencing challenges, and we need to improve on our conduct as nurse professionals. We are encouraging our nurses to model Florence Nightingale, hence the reason why we are having this particular session.
Customer service is also one of the topics to be discussed.
As we go around, we are hearing the cry of the public of the necessity for having improved customer service. And we have been trying to encourage nurses not just to deliver satisfactory customer service, but to exceed the customers' expectations, do above and beyond what the patients and the clients that we serve are required, do more. So at the ending of it, they will be excited, they will go out there and speak very proudly of nurses.
Nurse Roach-Phillip believes it is important that nurses encourage and support each other.
We are going to have Pastor Marcus Francis, who will be presenting on mentoring and coaching. This is a very important entity. It is an area where the senior nurses will be the one coaching and mentoring the junior nurses to develop themselves professionally and to develop themselves in a manner that will cause them to be good professionals. And there is a technique, there is a principle, and he will be presenting on that topic so as to see the entire nursing profession improve here in Dominica.
On Thursday, a public speaking competition will take place where nurses will speak on the theme of the International Nurses Week. The Ministry of Health will also recognize outstanding nurses on Nurses Appreciation Day, which will be observed on Friday. The Dominica Nurses Association has organized a whale watching expedition to end the week of activities.
In other news, in April, a GIS news team visited the Douglas Charles Airport after the Melville Hall River flooded its banks again 6 months after Tropical Storm Erica. In an effort to ensure resilience against flooding, construction of a river wall began, as well as dredging to mitigate the damage of future occurrences. Kimani Seja visited the airport at that time and spoke with CEO of DASPA, Benoit Badwell. At that time, restoration work had already begun. Badwell revealed that the entire structure of the wall would be different from what was initially installed. He explained that the wall would be more protective, accompanied by a rock armor. The DASPA CEO also explained that some dredging had already taken place. Work began in December 2015 and is expected to be completed before the start of this hurricane season. With the onset of a predicted busy hurricane season, Lourianne Graham met with the DASPA CEO on Wednesday to get an update on the Douglas Charles project.
Joining us for discussion is Mr. Benoit Badwell, who is the CEO of DASPA, and Mr. Badwell is going to give us an update on the works that have begun at the Douglas Charles Airport following the most recent flooding.
Well, as you may have noticed since you were there the last time, a lot of work has been done. We had some setbacks with the weather, but now that it is a drier spell, we've been able to do quite a bit the wall that we had started. The wall is almost complete, so we have better protection now in terms of if we were to receive heavy rains. But work is still continuing to ensure that we can maximize the protection that is required. Work is also taking place on the runway edges in terms of ensuring that we can regrass the area very soon. So we are in fact moving soil to ensure that we can do that on both sides of the runway. We have been doing work on ensuring that all the drainage system on the air side, that is to repair the taxiways, that is going on vigorously, I must say. And I want to take the opportunity to thank the Minister, Honorable Minister Blanchard, and her team of from the Public Works, who have really seen it fit to assist in the process and provided the necessary funding and supervision in terms of an engineering supervision for that project. Because that project is critical, because as you know, air transportation is an important link for Dominica, and we already have some challenges with air access. We really want to get out of that. So we are targeting June 30th to ensure we can complete a number of the projects there. So we are in fact trying to push on. And I do hope that once all there are no major complications, we can complete the project on time.
Mr. Badwell, how about the river dredging that was also part of the project?
Well, the river dredging, quite a bit has been done. If you go back up there, quite a bit has been done in terms of they've gone 1.5 meters down into the river, and they've taken out a lot of the stones. They now create a wall for protection. They created a berm with stones to create that protection, and I can say, based on the information I received from the engineers, it seems to be pretty sound.
We know that works also started with the fencing of the perimeter. Tell us about that.
Yes, we are in the completion stage of the fencing towards the mountainside area for those persons who look at the airport. We have done all around from the seaward end, so that's complete. We're just on the verge within probably 2-3 days to complete the top side from the mountainside, and then that should be complete.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Badwell.
All right.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
Welcome back. The Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division held a hunters workshop on Wednesday, May 11th to educate stakeholders on wildlife resource management. Acting Director of Forestry, Wildlife and Parks, Minchinton Burton, addressing the opening ceremony, remarked that hunting is one of the world's oldest professions. He says the need to conserve wildlife is one which is ever evolving.
Hunting and forestry influence game species and game populations and their habitats, but also have an effect on non-prey animal and plant species and their ecosystems. As an integral part of agriculture and forestry, hunting is a sustainable form of land use and should meet all modern requirements of environmental protection and nature conservation. Social expectations concerning the treatment and efficient use of our natural resources have changed considerably over the past decades, and flora and fauna considered precious resources worthy of special protection. The fragility of our ecosystem demands great care in maintaining ecological balance and therefore a new understanding of the concept of hunting. Sustainability of hunting means that the use of these natural resources must be assured, not only in the present, but also for future generations. Hunting makes an important contribution to the protection of ecosystems, as hunters are obliged to maintain healthy and biologically diverse wildlife populations and to protect their habitat. This also includes preventing damage done by wildlife and adjusting population sizes to specific environmental conditions.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Geese, described the workshop as timely. He is particularly pleased that the issue of wildlife preservation will be addressed.
This is a signal to many, including the hunters, that the present resource must be prudently managed to ensure its sustainability. It means that we are concerned about the status of our wildlife in Dominica. It means too that we are not only concerned, but we are dedicated to doing something about it. We all recognize the role that each of us has to play in ensuring that our wildlife resources are not depleted. Now, don't ever believe that wildlife resources cannot be depleted. They can be depleted, and they can in fact become extinct. We realize that wildlife conservation in Dominica is everybody's business.
The Permanent Secretary noted the importance of wildlife to tourism and environmental research. He hopes that the workshop will allow for a better understanding of wildlife legislation.
Few of us will doubt the critical part that wildlife, at least the game wildlife, plays in our national consciousness. Can we imagine an independent season without wildlife meat prepared in various forms? In fact, we actually look forward to that. Can imported meat suffice? I don't think so. What of the many hunters, some of you included, who earn periodic livelihood from the sale of wildlife meat? When we speak of tourism, particularly our cuisine, there is no denying the fact that wildlife plays a most important role in the national menu at Independence time, at Christmas time, and at Carnival time. What of the many family-related activities that feature wildlife meat? We can talk with pride about our cuisine and the part that wildlife plays therein to the end of the world. We can boast. We believe there are many more dishes yet to emerge from our wildlife meat consumption habits.
The Honorable Minister for Education, Peter Seja, has commended librarians for their years of commitment to the development of the library and information service. The Honorable Minister was addressing the official opening of Library Week on Monday.
Let me congratulate and thank the librarians and the library workers for assisting our citizens with their varying needs. Your efforts to meet the changing needs of users and indeed the use of your knowledge, skills, and abilities to tailor collections, expand outreach, and increase programming to match our users' demand is indeed most commendable.
He named a few of those devoted to the enhancement of the library.
Individuals like Miss Luce and Luce, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Robin, who have never left the library, Dr. Honeychurch and Mr. Allington James, individuals who feel that they are mortally tied to the library and shall be part of this library until death. I really want to commend and thank you and many others who support the library in every way possible.
Several individuals were acknowledged at Monday's opening ceremony. And that's news. McPherson St. Luce is up next with Creole Highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt, car oui créé à ce public là pour un Dominique bien propre et puis verte. Honorable Skerritt fait parole qu'il était acte qui implémenté bien wed. Premier ministre a dit public là une responsabilité pour tenir environnement bien propre. Si l'honorable Skerrit, ça fait au la moun ka en jeté bagay, vaille qui vaille n'importe côté, pas acceptable. Et des moun qui ka engagé en affaires salam, qui tape corps en difficulté et puis voilà. Si le Premier ministre honorable Dr. Skerrit, ministre justice en collaboration et puis ministre environ, qui travaillent ensemble pour un Dominique bien propre et puis bien vête. À la nouvelle association NOS Dominique tient un symposium en observance activité semaine NOS. Grand symposium ça prend place à département psychiatrique, l'hôpital Princess Margaret Jordan. C'est le président association NOS Dominique, NOS Deborah Philip. Symposium là, c'était pour exposer NOS bon standard en travail ailleurs.
Nous avons célébré Nurses Week 2016. Ça c'est un biti qui a fait tous les années. Et aujourd'hui, nous avons une spéciale activité qui a passé là. Nous avons 3 différents personnes qui ont venu parler de nous pour éduquer nous comment pour ça faire pour deal avec les gens qui sont malades, pour les gens qui sont malades satisfaits. Parce que nous avons McPherson, les gens qui parlent contre comment nous ne pas traiter bien, comment les gens viennent à l'hôpital, ils ne pas taper bon traitement. C'est ça qui fait ces associations avec le Ministry of Health qui est nécessaire pour nous parler de nous, indiquer pour nous faire un changement. So après ça, les gens qui viennent pour taper traitement de nous, pour taper bon traitement.
Présentation prend place à Simone professionnel pour Zavenos.
Comme ça aujourd'hui, nous avons 3 personnes qui ont présenté. Nous avons Bertilia Mackenzie qui travaille dans Domlec, in charge of Domlec. Il a présenté code professional conduct. Comment pour nous ça conduct koyo, les yo ka parler et les yo ka traiter moun qui malade. Après ça nous avons Mrs. Carrie Baron, hors ministry qui a parler code customer service. Et ça c'est pour éduquer nous comment pour ça traiter moun. Comment pour ça ni patience avec moun, comment pour ça respecter moun, avec comment pour ça ba moun service qui moun ke apprécier, avec la yo quitter la yo ke dit oui, yo tape bon traitement. Avec nous aussi ni Mr. Marcus Francis qui ka vini après-midi pour parler ba nos mentoring and coaching. Avec ça c'est comment pour nous ça traiter les autres nos, éduquer yo, avec montrer yo comment pour ça parler pour aider pour ça garder code patient bien, c'est ça nous connaissons là aujourd'hui.
En la nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominica tient un committement pour bâtir une bibliothèque neuve en Ville-aux-Hommes. Parole ça là sorti du ministère de l'Éducation, honorable Peter Saint-Jean. Honorable Saint-Jean fait parole ça là pendant la cérémonie où la bibliothèque tient activité bibliothèque semaine ça là.
Ou ka changer qui check temps passé, nous mettons long attention en le développement en bâtiment neuf pour bibliothèque là. Ça c'est un cas neuf. Et nous tenions des petits problèmes, mais gouvernement still ka mettre attention en le développement parce ou comprendre que ça nous n'y a pas qu'à réellement représenter nous comme nation. À nous ni plan pour faire en bibliothèque, mais avec tous ces challenges là qui nous ni pour prendre nous, mais nous ka ba commitment là qui nous que développer un bâtiment neuf pour bibliothèque là.
Et puis finalement, Attorney General, ça c'est Crown Attorney, Honorable Levi Peter, bien plein et puis initiative gouvernement pour avancer le système justice en Dominique. Honorable Peter fait parole pendant la conférence de presse, ministre justice semaine passée. Honorable Peter dit l'initiative là autant importante pour Dominique qu'a résulté en bagaille positive. Ministre Peter dit depuis que son problème société même qui bénéficie des affaires au système là qui a augmenté. En effet cela, le gouvernement a décidé pour mener un lobby qui concerne bagaille pour discuter en parlement. Honorable Peter qui aussi mené plusieurs d'autres billes pour discuter en parlement. Messieurs et mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Before we leave, an announcement from the government of Dominica. Expressions of interest are invited to fill the position of communications consultant for the Building Capacity in Consumer Protection Project funded by the Caribbean Development Bank. The objective of this assignment is to develop and implement an information campaign to make Dominican citizens aware of their specific consumer rights. The complete terms of reference and application details can be obtained from the government website at www.dominica.gov.dm under the link Vacancies or on the GIS website in Announcements. You can also send an email message to foreignaffairs@dominica.gov.dm. The deadline for submissions is May 25.
To keep your fridge as cold as you would like, cover everything. Most foods in there contain moisture. When left uncovered, foods will leach this moisture into the air and warm your fridge.
And fill empty spaces with water. Using empty bottles, juice containers, or even water jugs can help keep your fridge full, and that helps keep things cold.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on our past National Focus newscast on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is now available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I am Lourianne Graham Carter.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.